Welcome back, Circus fam. Today I'm going to have a little sit down chat with you about the month just gone of August and doing a little recap because I was over in Edinburgh for the entire month and I got to go to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, which was an amazing experience, and I got to do this through the company that I'm currently performing with, which is the Dummies Corp, and we were doing the show Don't Mess with the Dummies. If you are curious about what that is, ask me the questions down in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer any of them. I went to Edinburgh Fringe Festival for the first time and I thought I'd do a little video about my personal experience on what that was like, which was overall a really positive one, and share some of my experiences with you guys. Probably pop some videos up and photos beside my head here so you can get a little bit of an idea of what the vibe was like. Probably one of the biggest things about Edinburgh Fringe Festival was it was my first time doing the longest run of shows that I've ever done, which was 24 shows in 26 days. And that was definitely a new challenge for me. It was really important that I sort of stayed on it and just survived being able to do the shows for that long of a time. I did really well with managing and surviving that run of shows, as I didn't get injured or majorly sick, which was really good to know that I could manage that in my body and have confidence if I ever have to go off again and do a long run of shows. I think when an event is so overwhelming like that, it's really important to know that what recharges you, which for me was just having a couple of evenings to myself just inside, watching some movies or just drawing or just relaxing, basically to recharge and to be able to keep going for that many days. Another big thing about Edinburgh was it was incredibly overwhelming the first couple of days because it is a huge festival. There are so many shows on in such a broad range of things like comedy, circus, variety, cabarets. It was insane. So not just the sheer amount of shows, but also the sheer amount of people that were there as well. It was definitely a bit on the crazy side. I think I did well to see a huge number of shows, but I think if I was to do it again, I would want to try and see a bit more of a variety of shows because there was just so much on, and I feel like I saw mostly circus shows because as a circus performer, that's what I'm drawn to the most. I actually saw so many shows and I think it will just take me way too long to list them, saying them out loud, but I'll leave them down in the comments below. Maybe I'll tell you some of my favorites because that's probably the coolest thing. Some of my favorites were a duo of two women who were called Double Denim. I actually met them here in Melbourne during the comedy festival, and I finally got to go and see one of their shows, and it was hilarious. I absolutely loved them. They were amazing. I also saw a show by a stand-up comedian called Sharon, and she was from Canada, and she did a show called Thundercunt, which was super empowering and a bit about feminism in terms of all-inclusivity, which was really amazing to see. What else was good? Oh, some of my favourite circus shows were Blizzard, The Gallery, oh yeah, and then Only Bones. Oh my gosh. The guy who does this show is amazing. He all of his movement qualities remind me of tutting, and it was just so good. It was, yeah, would highly recommend. I almost didn't see it, which blew me away when I did see it because I almost missed out on that. Would highly recommend. Another big thing with traveling to a new place as well is just finding the opportunities to go out and explore because Edinburgh was so beautiful. Like, oh my gosh. I'll like pop some photos up and stuff up here, but it was like, it reminded me of like Harry Potter so much. And so I think finding the time to get out and explore is a really good idea because you're in a whole new area and exploring is so much fun. Oh yeah, and Laser Kiwi were also amazing. I finally got to see their show after like having already met them and then like have only ever like heard about their show. It was so funny. Love those guys. Yeah, those were probably all of my like favorite shows that I saw. And I'll list all of the other ones that I saw down below. Yeah, so many shows there. It was insane. I think I saw about like 35. It was just such an overload of shows that I'm like, I feel so done with shows for a little while. It's a bit crazy. Also, part of Fringe as well was sort of like, a big part of it was going out and socializing on a couple nights during the month. Lots of dancing and just sort of like having fun, like meeting lots of people and like seeing lots of old friends as well. Definitely could not have done that like every single night. Like, I don't know how some people do it. I don't have the energy for it. But there were a couple of really good nights where we all went out and we had a lot of fun. And I think it's like quite a strong, like Fringe is when like a lot of partying happens, and I think it's good to know where your limit is of like, so you can pace yourself and not like completely destroy your body because you still have to perform, and that's a really important thing to know where your limit is. And so I think I kind of already had an idea of where my limit was, and it was really good because it showed me that it was like a correct limit, and so I didn't completely like destroy my body by going out and partying too hard, which was really sensible and I think helped me have a really enjoyable Fringe experience, in my opinion. I guess if anyone from Fringe or any of my Underbelly crew are watching this, a huge thank you to Edinburgh Fringe Festival for having us, and to our beautiful Underbelly crew. Oh, they were amazing. I'll insert a little photo here. And then also my Dummies family. I love you guys so much. Thank you to the boss men, Jamie and Simon, for organising so much of our month over there. It was amazing. And oh yeah, thank you to my dummy gals who I was performing alongside. We actually did such a good job. We smashed our shows. We had such an amazing time performing together and just sort of like experiencing Fringe together as well. Having some really close friends at Edinburgh was really nice, and it made for a really wonderful experience. So love you gals if you're watching. Yeah, if you have any questions about Edinburgh Fringe Festival or about what it was like for me, chuck the questions down in the comments below. Love to hear from you guys. And as always, if you liked this, give it a like. If you want to see more, consider subscribing. Till next time, Circus fam. Pew!